Hello and welcome. This is Jensen with Soft Edges, and this is your week ahead reading for the week of July 6th through 12th, 2026. We are in the second decan of Cancer. Apparently, from the research I've done, this is a decan ruled by both Mercury and Mars. So there is some speed and heat and intensity to this part of summer as it continues to rev up. I'm curious if you're experiencing this. As we've been talking about, Mars is now in Gemini. It conjoined Uranus this past weekend. And yeah, how are things feeling? It's a good check-in point as summer continues to rev up. If you live in the States, we just had the 4th of July, and I feel like that's the really official start to summer. And I'm curious if you feel like you've passed some sort of hurdle now that you've maybe had some rest time, and now summer continues to unfold and you get a better handle on what you want to do with your time and energy. Just to talk about what's going on in the sky, right off the bat on Monday, Sun squares Saturn. And this can feel restrictive in some way. Let's see if the cards have anything else to say. How might we experience the Sun square Saturn? Oh, the star. Really interesting. There's something about this that talks about what structures in our life, right, the Saturn, can bring healing to us, right? How are we recharging? If our days are feeling really busy and full of light and life, are we getting enough rest? Are we giving ourselves time in the night to wind down fully, unplug? I like that as an invitation for Sun square Saturn, and that's on Monday. Then on Tuesday the 7th, Neptune retrograde begins, and this might be felt as confusion or maybe some intensity in dreams. Again, we are in the second decade of Cancer, and I'm thinking about this like scorpionic part of Cancer, this going deeper into something. Maybe it is going deeper into a fantasy of some kind, but in a way that feels, in a way that feels, like you're a channel for divine energy. I love this. How might you notice around the 7th when Neptune stations retrograde that things, information, feelings start to move and flow through you? I love that. On Thursday, the 9th, Venus moves into Virgo. Let's do what we've been doing. Let's flip a card for this energy. But Venus in Virgo is studious, and she brings beauty and finds joy in her day-to-day life and the rituals that keep her sustained, to keep her going. Let's see if there's a little information for that. Ooh, caution. Maybe this is an energy, and it's in the reverse. I'm really curious about this. Maybe this is an energy of the way we hold ourselves back in our day-to-day life. Like if we've been looking before we step so much that it's keeping us from moving forward because we're so afraid to step on something that stings. Yeah, if you've been kind of holding back, maybe around a relationship, maybe around connecting with people or creating a sustainable structure in your life, Venus in Virgo, which enters again on the 9th, will bring in hopefully an invitation for you to be not less structured because it's Venus in Virgo, but being mindful of where your being structured has held you back in some way. The next day, Venus conjoins the South Node, and maybe that's part of this. Maybe that's part of this energy of, again, becoming aware of us being so calculated in our lives that it's preventing us from living, like enjoying the sweetness of life. I wonder how that resonates. Finally, on the 12th, we have the Mercury Cazimi. That is when the Sun comes together with Mercury. And let's do one more little situation for how we might experience that energy. So Sunday, Mercury Cazimi. How might we feel into that? Ooh, 10 of Cups. I love this. The 10 of Cups makes me think of the ways that we're feeling really fulfilled in our connections, really fulfilled in our communities and our family, whether that's found family or otherwise. This makes me think of all of the ways that we become aware of how the people in our lives help us be the best versions of ourselves. And Mercury's in Cancer. And again, I'm talking about family. And 10 of Cups often talks about this family. Again, does not have to be family of origin, but really makes me think about, giving deep gratitude, lots of love, really holding in your heart and nurturing the connections that continue to feed you, especially in the intensity as summer again starts to rev up. Ooh, that is super duper sweet. All right, that is the energy we have for those little planets. I wonder how that felt. That was, new and different. But I don't know, felt resonant for today to run like that. This is the energies of the week, this week, the overall energy. And we have, beginning with safe, loved, protected. What if this is the mantra you told yourself every day this week? Again, as energy starts to surge, as we're in the heat of summer, you might hear a fire sizzling behind me, and it's making me think about being able to feel the fire, the sizzle of all sorts of things, right? Like our connections, the responsibilities we have, the world, our lives, other people's lives. Like there is sizzling, there is things ablaze, but that we constantly come back to, how am I safe, loved, and protected? There's something this week too about feeling really free, feeling really successful in some way. The Six of Wands is a success card, and on an eagle is like, you've been able to have really big vision. You've been able to soar above maybe the drama or soar above an issue, not in a disassociative way, but in a way that really has allowed you to see the bigger picture and paying less attention on the tiny, tiny details. Because eagle can pay attention to the details, but has the dual vision and ability to zoom out enough to see both and hold both. Again, giving us freedom. Look at her, like chest forward, heart led. I love this as an energy of us moving through this week, heart led. And if you ever get stuck on teeny details, being able to zoom out enough to remember where things are going really well for you. Because the Temperance talks about alchemy, right? And where have you alchemized challenging experiences? I'm laughing right now because my neighbor's dog just came through on a little side quest of what he was supposed to be doing. And we're in the reading space. So like, this is part of it. Like, how has your little side quest, I mean, now the dog is back on its path doing what it's supposed to. How have your like little side quests been able to nourish you enough to again be able to see the big and the small, keep you grounded? And if you haven't done that, here's an invitation to do so and let yourself be free in that way. I love that invitation to side quests. Because let's get back to this. This talks about alchemy, the things that we have been able to move through. I mean, we just came into the summer solstice. So in 6 months, what have you moved through since winter? Now that it's full light and everything is, lit ablaze from the sun, what is lighting you up right now? How have you moved through things emotionally and in your life? This is a good week to reflect on how far you've come and the little wins you're experiencing in your life right now. There is so much sweetness in this pull. I'm hearing reprieve. Where have you been able to come into? Or again, if you haven't, how can you find space for recharging, relaxing, being able to like enjoy the beach. I don't know why I'm saying that. Enjoy the beach, enjoy a body of water, and just watch life exist around you. And notice where you're set. I love finishing this reading with this Fire Within card. Again, super duper grounded. I keep seeing like her standing on this beach, feeling into the like cosmic energy. Like there's so much in this that's really grounded, but sky, sky, sky. You don't really see the ground in this picture. So again, making me think of, are you feeling soul led? Are you feeling connected to your soul star? Are you feeling grounded enough to be able to move forward with your brightest firelight? Again, listen. I hope you can hear it. The fire crackling behind me. How do you hold within you this great flame? Even in the night, even in the dark. I'm also noticing in both these cards the chest being forward, and I get a sense that this week will really be heart-led. There is a lot of wands, like I guess it's not a wand, but there's wand is fire, and we have fire within here. And it's making me think of passion, and again, what are we moving towards, and what is our heart calling for? I'm hearing again the duality too in maybe being on the other side of your own personal, like you've moved through something recently. Have you been able to give yourself the credit for how much you've grown again since the winter solstice? So in the last 6 months. Good week this week to reflect on that. I'm going to bring in the Neptune stationing retrograde on Tuesday. Again, it's making me think of this really dreamy energy, but it's in Aries, so there's still the fire to it. And I'm just seeing in my mind's eye right now, being able to candle gaze or gaze at a fire and just turning that flame into your dream. How have you been able to do that? Or how do you wish to do that? Again, heart-led work. Also nudity here, so I'm thinking a week that's vulnerable, and bringing in the second decan again, this communicating vulnerably, openly, being willing and aware to meet a situation where it's at and knowing you'll succeed. Just seeing the outcome and knowing it is going to all work out. I'm loving this energy of this week. I'm loving this pull. And I hope that you get to experience that. And you know, it's not always sunshine and rainbows and heart-led and ease and success. And you know, this, you might not experience this. How can you find even a small little essence of success in your life? What are little ways, little side quests you can follow your heart and lean into some playfulness this week? I would love to know how this lands for you. Leave a comment below if you feel called to. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, good luck. I will see you on the other side.